Hi guys, welcome back to another Transformation Tuesday. My name is Kiri Winchell and I hope that your month is going great so far and that these Transformation Tuesdays have been helpful. Working from the Everyday Affirmations Journal, and today's core belief, today's affirmation that we're working with is everything is always working out for my highest good. Everything is always working out for my highest good. And let's get into the reflection or journaling prompts. So the first one, would you describe yourself more as an optimist or a pessimist? Would you describe yourself more as an optimist or a pessimist? And a lot of this too is going to really depend on your internal dialogue. Whether you believe it or not, you are having a conversation with yourself all day. And most of this conversation is happening unconsciously. And depending on the nature of this conversation, that's going to have an impact on your thoughts, on the language that you're using with yourself, with other people. And whether you're an optimist or a pessimist, two of the things that it can depend on is whether you tend to see the glass half full or half empty. Okay, so usually people who are pessimistic, they have narratives or scripts that's rooted in seeing the glass half empty. So scripts or narratives, language, internal dialogue that is rooted in looking at the negatives, or looking at the negatives first. Sometimes these scripts for somebody who's more pessimistic is where you immediately go into scarcity thinking. You go into lack mode. You tend to focus on the problem first as opposed to the solution. And so if someone asks you, hey, do you want to come on this vacation with me? Maybe, and unless you're like intentionally deciding that you're not going on vacations because of X, Y, and Z reason. But let's say you're somebody who do want to go on the vacation and you get asked, hey, do you want to come on this vacation with me? Your immediate or automatic thought or response might be, oh, I can't afford it, right? So, and this is not to be delusional. Like, I'm not saying that if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. But sometimes when we have a pattern of automatically looking at the problem as opposed to the solution. So the solution maybe would be a response or an answer to, hey, do you want to go on a vacation, to, let me see how if that can work out for me, as opposed to I can't afford it, right? Because if you really want to go on the vacation, if it's something that you want, how about thinking about it in a way to see if it can be possible for you, if it's something that you want to do, if it's something that you're desiring. And so having the response, let me see if it can work out, right? It's you being more focused on looking at the solution, looking to see what your options are, looking to see what your possibilities are, as opposed to just shutting down the whole thing because maybe you're in scarcity or lack thinking. People who have narratives that are more rooted in optimism, they tend to see the glass half full. And they would be more likely to have the solution-focused response to a question. So, would you describe yourself more as an optimist or a pessimist? The second prompt, become aware of any core beliefs you have that limits instead of invites. Okay, so what limiting core beliefs do you have? What limiting core beliefs are you great at? Okay. And how does this show up to how you problem solve, to how you look at your opportunities, how you look at your prospects? How does your core beliefs affect your opportunities? How do they affect the things that you desire, your goals? How does your core beliefs affect the vision that you have for your life? So everything is always working out for my highest good is even in a perceived negative situation or in a challenging or difficult situation, you are able to to look at the situation in a way that's going to produce some type of optimism where you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So it's not denying or being avoidant that you might be in a situation that it might be perceived as negative, but having that optimist, that solution focused mindset, and trusting that everything is working out for your highest good is probably going to help you to be able to navigate that difficult or challenging situation in a way that will work out for your highest good. All right, so have a good day, a good week. It's summer is here. Summer is here, and we got a little head start because we started on these Transformation Tuesdays, working from the Everyday Affirmations Journal, very summary workbook journal. We already started this at the start of June. Okay, so I hope you guys are going to enjoy yourself. Summer to me is always a time where I feel like it's a good time to nurture your inner child, right? Because people are outside, people are outdoors, and outdoors, what does it symbolize? It symbolizes play. And so this is a good opportunity to just really have fun. Depending on where you live, you might have more colder months than warmer months. So definitely take advantage of this opportunity and let that inner child play and be adventurous and curious. All right, I'll talk with you guys later.